Alright, it's time for another episode of Comics and Whiskey. Although today, we're not drinking whiskey, we're drinking bourbon. Yeah, a friend of mine turned me on to it, and I thought I'd give it a shot, so grab whatever you're drinking. Me personally, I'm drinking Maker's Mark. Yeah, so I'm not changing it to comics and bourbon, though. It's staying comics and whiskey. So before we get started, let's grab a drink. Ooh, it's good. It's a little bit harsher than whiskey, but definitely got a lot of flavor, a little bit of spice in there. All right. Hack Slash number 2. Now, if you remember last time we covered Hack Slash number 1, and it introduced us to Cassie Hack, the girl with the baseball bat and the nails, and her friend Vlad, the guy with the meat cleaver. And basically what they were establishing is that she came from a really jacked up childhood where her mom was like a killer. And so now what she does is she finds slasher type killers and she kills them herself. And here's an alternate cover to Hack Slash number 2. Okay, so let's get this going here. We start out here. There's a rock show going on, like a little dive bar here. These guys are singing Acid Washed, which is actually kind of a cool name for a little band. But I don't think this came out in the 80s. And that girl's wearing like these pink leg warmers, kind of, I guess. Or maybe they're bandages. I'm not sure what she's doing. But these guys are singing, "Your love eats through my armor, acid washed." I don't know. I don't know what it goes. But in your head, just think of a jam. And then you see over here, they've got the Buzz Light because Bud Light can't really, you can't really advertise. And Mullet High Life, which is actually kind of funny. So this girl's showing her bra, I guess, right here. What is that, boobs or something? So, yeah, so much for that. So anyways, they get all upset because the people are like, play this, play that, whatever. And these guys start talking about like, man, I don't understand what was going on. I was supposed to be famous, and we were supposed to do really well, and blah, blah, blah. And the blonde hair is like, what are you talking about? We suck. We sound like shit. So then right here at the bottom, of course, the guy with the long hair's name is Mr. Six with 2 X's, because 3 is too many and 1 is just not enough. This guy who looks like Elvis here, he's basically like, hey, man, I think you guys actually sounded cool, but, we just need to tap that pent-up talent you have. We cut to Cassie Hack, who is wearing her best goth gear going out shopping for panties. And I guess it's 99-cent panties, which I don't know why you'd ever want to wear that. So, but anyways, so she's got colored clothes there, but you never really see her wearing anything but black and purple. So I'm not sure why she's doing that. But Vlad is like, hey, I don't understand. It's a good deal. And she's like, I'm not buying lingerie for a fucking buck at a dollar store. It's just not going to happen. So then she knocks over some stuff and trips and hurts her feet. If you remember correctly, she got some toes cut off in the last issue. But this is actually kind of funny. She falls over and she suddenly turns into the Exorcist. Goddamn cocksucking motherfucking Christ. A Christ in a tree, which I don't even know what that means. But this guy's here is this God's property. And the kid just starts screaming. So there's that. So then we cut back and she's talking to some guy here. And they're basically just reminiscing about some of the past cases that they've had. And she's also still shopping, looking at Jesus stuff. And this guy's like, hey, there's some stuff going on that the cops are trying to figure out where these groupers keep getting killed. So Cassie's like, okay, go ahead and send it to me. We'll check it out. So he goes to this website, which is Hack Slash Incorporated. And then she's like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't understand what that is. And he's like, hey, it's in the planning stages, but if we're going to help people, we need to get a website and all this other stuff. And then she's just like, I don't know if that's such a good idea. So I don't know if we should be doing that stuff. So then she starts yelling at him and cussing at him and whatnot. And of course, here's the kid again. Because she's like, you fucking blah, blah, blah. And then here's the kid right here. Now she says, you suck my big, wet, hairy, pink, what? And then she says popsicle. So I don't know what she was going to say. But I think for most people, if you're talking about a girl that's attractive and she says that, you're like, okay, I'll do it. I don't know. So she says that they're going off to Florida, and then we cut down to these 2 people who are just talking, filling up extra captions and whatnot. So now we cut to a line where everybody's trying to get into this show, and it's the same band, Acid Washed. And, they're just basically talking about where they came from. And then right here it says acid washed equals Satan. And they're saying that, these guys made a pact with the devil, so you shouldn't listen to the music or whatever. And this girl, she's got the juicy on her butt, and they gave her like a juicy black girl's butt or whatever. They're just basically talking to her. It's conflict or whatever. So they go inside, and they're eating some stuff in this like Midwestern. I mean, it looks like a Midwestern Ohio buffet, but they're supposed to be in Florida, so who the hell knows? Anyway, so they're in a gentleman's club that has a buffet and strippers, apparently. So this girl gets up here, she starts doing, I mean, it's gotta be like pour some sugar on me, right? But it's not, it's whatever this shit is. So then she starts talking to him. And they're just basically trying to figure out what's going on with the band and the groupies and all the other stuff, doing their investigating before they, before they start, going after this guy. Now we're cutting back to the band, and the guy's like, oh man, hey, Mr. Six, you're awesome. Like, I'm a big fan of yours. And he's like, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever. But then he kind of blows him off and goes in his room where he's got this pentagram and this little blonde chick tied to a seat. And then he plays his guitar and he starts evoking the Wizards of Evil. And here you see all the band now kind of looks like a fake Kiss. They all turn into, evil people. And he's like, are you ready to rock? Which kind of sounds like Jack Black from School of Rock. And here we go outside, and the girls are like trying to get up there, but the security guard, who's Mr. Know-It-All, is like, nope, can't do it. So we see that Vlad and Cassie actually made it, and this girl's trying to get by him, but he's not letting her do it because he's fucking huge and she's not. So she's like, how is he gonna ever see my boobies if I can't, if you're in the way? So she takes off the hat and kind of messes with him a little bit here. And then out comes the band, hello, Tampa, blah, blah, we're here to melt your face, blah, blah, blah. Acid Wash, like this big band, and they got this shitty-ass banner in the back, which kind of doesn't make any sense. So then, of course, they start singing, and we're going to take a drink real quick. Ooh. It's maybe a little bit more harsh than the whiskey, but man, that shit really warms you up. So anyway, she's kind of telling Vlad here at the bottom, she doesn't really like them. They're kind of eh. And then, you see here the set list right here. And on the right, they're just talking. And, he's talking about, give me a sacrifice. And he's like, sacrifice, yay. And then he's like, boom, virgin sacrifice. And they probably think it's part of the show. And he's like, no, I'm actually killing myself a virgin. And you see all the pentagrams appear on the virgins' heads, and they start, going into a trance or whatever. And he's like, come forward beneath the stage, and thank you, Tampa, because, nobody just noticed that all these virgins, disappeared onto the stage. But then this girl here on the right's like, nope, can't do it. You're obviously not a virgin, you big old ugly dude. So, somehow, Cassie Hack is a virgin. And I don't know how that happened, but it's what happened because she's up here on the right. And they woke up in this alternate universe, and apparently they think that they're in hell. Which, if you look at it, it almost looks like the movie Phantasm. It kind of reminds me of that, the original Phantasm. So then Vlad's sitting here, and he's also got a thing too, but obviously they didn't want him to go because he's freaking huge. Now he's trying to figure out where she is, so he calls up his buddy, and he tells him what happens. And his buddy's like, look, man, I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like some kind of spell, but buddy, you need to get laid, because then that would make the pentagram go away off of his forehead. So, and that is pretty much it. So you see at the bottom here, it says to be continued. That is the last page, and that wraps up this episode and this issue of Hack Slash. Now, in this story arc, there's three issues, so we're going to cover all three, which will take us to Hack Slash 4, and then after that we're going to go to something else. I'm not sure what, but I'll figure it out. So anyways, that's it for this time. I know there was a little bit of a break, but there's just a lot of shit going on with the Vegas stuff, and I figured it was time to sit down and drink some bourbon or some hard liquor and talk about some comic books, because it's comic books, man. You gotta like it. Anyways, share it. I don't care if you subscribe or whatever. That's not really important to me. I just, if you like digging this shit and listening and, watching or, looking at the comic books, and that's all I care about, because comic books are pretty cool. All right, so be safe. Take care of the ones you love, and I will see you later. Bye.